how to optimize your content for Google. Short introduction to myself. My name is Christopher Wagner. I am an SEO. I do a lot of technical SEO. My hobby is killing penguin penalties. That is particularly funny because we are going to see that I apparently have been hit by a penguin penalty. And I am a member of the Joomla SEO team. My customers are a lot of shops, holiday home rentals, and for the smaller customers I tend to use Joomla. In my presentations I always have a part where I talk about what's currently happening in the area of SEO. This right here is the crawl stats from Google Webmaster Tools of Joomla.org before the Google Penguin penalty update, And what we see here is that Google started crawling Joomla.org heavily on the 10th of October. By the end of October, the Penguin update was fully rolled out, so I presume that crawling the whole web takes Google about 2 to 3 or 4 weeks. In that essence, that's a very interesting information. In the German SEO market, we see a lot of the websites that have been doing excessive link building and have been hit by a Penguin penalty recover, because of course they have removed the bad links or built new ones. One of the very famous examples is home24.de. What you see here is the visibility index of Systrix. Systrix is a company that tracks rankings, and their visibility index is composed of about 250,000 keywords that they are tracking. Of course, these keywords also have search volume, and one of the basic understandable rules is that a visibility index of 1 gives you about 1,000 users a day from Google on your website. Same goes for DSL Web, Wunderkarten. They all recovered. As we know, Google announced that the Penguin now runs in real time. The question will be for every one of us who's doing SEO or link building, what does real time really mean? My presumption is that they now have a cron job that gets executed from time to time and makes or analyzes the link graphs and does the update now automatically. That makes sense because you can only evaluate the amounts of links built over a certain period of time. You need time as a factor in that equation. Very interesting is that 2 weeks ago, this is home24.de, the domain I was just talking about. We have another spike and plus in visibility where we presume that there was a second iteration of the Penguin update. I don't know if this has been going through the English webmaster chats, but nice to know. What's also currently happening is that Google is doing a lot of crawls. You see that here, about 100,000 pages in average on that. And this is not in any way related to faster server response times. It is related to Google doing testing and updates. You see that here as well. That's a daily tracking for customer website, smaller website. You see that this here is the top 10, top 30, and top 100 keywords in a sum diagram. And here apparently Google is doing a test, having seen maybe the results are not that good, and rankings are coming back. Another very current topic is about the ranking factors from Search Metrics. They are doing the study every year. I only have the data from 2015 because I've been told that they are waiting to see how Penguin is doing, and what they need to gather data and then do the new study. What is very interesting is that the amount of backlinks on position 1 is very, very high, whilst the referring domains is not. So you can presume that these domains here, top 1, 2, 3, 4, have been doing a lot of excessive link building. When going back and thinking a bit about links, you could say that on position 1, with only that much amount of domains referring to that, they have been having a lot more than just one link from a domain, which is kind of logical. If you tend to recommend someone because you think that their services are good, then you're probably going to link to them more than once. So maybe interesting for link builders. Another very interesting topic is about the page load times. you see that on position 1 and 2 we have about 0.6 to 0.7 seconds. So having a fast website and fast loading website is very important if you want to rank in top positions. Something else interesting, because we talk about term weights today, is the amount of words on the top positions. You see that it's an average 800 words for position 1. For position 2 it's slightly higher. That's probably people that want to rank for the term but use too many words and not being as short as they could to make their point. Relevant terms, this is something that we are going to discuss as well. We are calling that proof keywords, so 40% of the websites, excluding Wikipedia, have proof keywords in their rankings. Let me tell you a little bit about my week. On Tuesday, my admin called me and said, well, we are going to make some changes. It will only take 10 minutes. That was at 1500 hours. I was done at 1:30 on Wednesday morning when I went to bed. 7:30 till 1600, I had a lot of customer satisfaction management. Wednesday continued. We had a lot of debugging time. Solutions were found, and we called a subcontractor because we needed to change the records of the domains that are pointing to the servers, and asked them to create a script for us. At 2 a.m. on Thursday, I got a call of a colleague saying, Chris, your website is not working. I said, good, fine, I'm going back to sleep, and I woke up at 5 o'clock and checked the domain robot. Well, what can I say? Only novices need A records because their scripts have been taking all A records out of that. So that was my Thursday. I wanted to fly at 10:25, but I couldn't apparently and had to take a later flight. So let's come to the point of the whole presentation. Today I want to tell you a little about information retrieval, TF, IDF, what the optimization tools that we have at hand are showing us, how to read the data to achieve the best results and ultimately optimize the content, and a few optimization measures from the study itself. If we have time left, I don't know. We may think about a couple keyword terms of your websites if this is at all interesting for you. In my eyes, information retrieval is the process of obtaining data from documents to be able to tell them apart and think about how to rank the document in a search engine. This technique is not new, it is old. Actually, the basic information retrieval technologies that are used in search engines date back to 1972. Let's talk a little bit about TF-IDF, and before we are going into that, I would like to say goodbye to keyword density and prove to you in a mathematical way why this is the case. So the basic calculation of keyword density is the total number of keywords that I'm using divided by the total number of words that are used in one document. That could be one HTML file. And then we multiply it by 100 to have the correct percentage value. If you're a professional and if you don't want to do that, then you can do that, of course, as well. So for a density value of 5%, we have the keyword 100 times in the document, divide that by 2,000 words, that's the total amount of words in the document, multiply that with 100, and then we have a keyword density of 5%. Now, I would like to present to you the lorem ipsum hipster generator and show you why keyword density absolutely does not make any sense. So, I chose the term Joomla SEO, and you see this is all very hipster. iPhone do's food truck, do Megan's art party, and so on and so forth. Now, one of the questions is, will this document rank in any way and in any way high in search engines? What would you suggest?
No.
Good.
Does not make sense in the text.
Yes. The problem is, if we can see that it doesn't make sense in a text, then we will not have any fun to have a mathematical sound solution for telling documents apart in a way that it makes sense for humans. That is why the use of keyword density is an absolute no-go if you want to be a professional.
But what if it was just a normal text with the keywords in?
If the text, we'll get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into that. So for Joomla SEO, the document will not rank at high positions. It doesn't make sense because it lacks proof keywords. And to proof keywords, we are going to come back a little later when we are going into the document analysis. Could someone please tell me when I have 30 minutes? No, I don't need that. I have a time display here. Okay. Let us talk a little bit about TF, IDF, and how Google is basically weighing terms. So this is the formula. I hope you all understand that. Peter, would you like to plug in the values and do the calculations?
42.
So, if you go into that and if you would like to analyze that, then you will have to have a lot of calculation power and a lot of crawl power, because basically what you have to do is analyze all the documents containing the term I and put them in a whole document corpus. In German we call that Vereinigungsmenge. I don't know, it's probably the unity number in English, but as you may have imagined, I didn't have as much time to prepare as I wanted. What this tells us is that the more frequently a word is used in all of the documents, then it is less able to tell all the documents apart. So if you go at it, and if you have in a lot of English documents, you have the terms he, she, you, they, it, and the more often these words are used, the IDF dampening factors are going to be very high, so that this document, or that this way of using the formula, will not make you need stop words. In coding, when you go at it and you want to analyze a document, then you often have to use stop words, words that you take out, because they are so commonly used that they are not good for telling documents apart. Okay, now let's go to my case study, SEO Cologne. I have some bad news, because I announced that this study has been ranking very, very high in search engines, but as we know, there was a Penguin update, which basically happened here. So that makes you see that, in terms of term weights and optimization, we had very long-lasting top positions for the study. By the way, I've done that to obtain customers. So in the essence, I had about one customer a month coming in there and asking for services. So the total turnover I made with the study was about 90,000 euros. When you compare that I used about 60 hours to create the study, then that was a well worth investment in terms of doing content. So last year I was on SEO Campix, and I had, let's call it a professional disagreement with some colleagues. And what I think that they did is they went to a website where you can buy links, and links they did buy, as you can see. So this is the amount of referring domains, and you see that it's very, very unnatural in the way that there are a lot more over in average. What I wanted to see, I immediately saw that something is happening here, and that someone is doing black hat SEO with my website to damage it. But what I wanted to know is whether Google is as good in filtering that out. So we see that all these links are, by the way, PHPBB profile spam. And of course, these hacked PHPBB forums aren't online that long, so that's why the links also are disappearing over time. I didn't do a disavow in the Google Webmaster Tools, because I wanted to know, as I said, whether Google is able to distinguish that. My best guess is they can't, even though they tell us that. And with the new Penguin update, you see that the rankings in the essence declined. We are going to see whether it's going to come back. There may be reserve causes that caused a drop here because maybe other websites have a better evaluation as mine. Maybe because there is a date in the ranking study which says 1st of October 2015. Maybe it is outdated now. I always tell my customers never ever use date and timestamps in the document text directly, which is something that you should take home with you. Now let me show you a little bit about the study. Oops, sorry. So you see, it's in German, but no matter, you see that we have a table of contents. You also see that we have rank tracking from the Manhattan tool. You see that I'm using the term SEO Köln a lot of times. Pete, why are you doing a photo of that right now? Oh, okay. But yeah, it's... Okay, just Google it and try finding it at some point. What I also did is I named the pictures SEO Cologne, and I put alt. No, let me see. Where is it? Alt text in here. Using keywords, which improves the within document frequency of the term that we want to optimize for. So that's very, very basic optimization measures. Use the keyword a little more often in the document, but don't over exaggerate it. You know, if you have 200 words and you use the term 10 or 20 times, then Google will tell you that this is not the quality we want, and of course the documents get unreadable.
How many words?
I think 3,600 or something like that. I don't know what the relative or the density would be, because I simply forgot. So let's go into what the tools are telling us and how we do that correctly. For a customer, I had prepared the calculation with Excel. Now what I have done with the document that we are analyzing, I went in and we saw how many times this term was used in the document, and then we started doing the calculations. So these values, the within document frequency, they simply come from on page. The IDF in analyzing one document always is 1. In that case, it doesn't matter that it's 0.69 because we are applying that number everywhere. For finding out what the WDF, IDF values in the documents are, you simply multiply the within document frequency with the inverse document frequency. Later on, you have to take into account how many documents are indexed with Google. This is row F, number of documents in google.de. You apply a logarithm, and then you add the values within document frequency with the inverse document frequency, and you multiply them by a factor of 4. When you go into the German market, then Karl Kratz instituted this BDF, IDF, and then you often read that it's BDF times P times IDF. The P just is a factor to make the graph look good, and this in the essence then is the graph. I have water. So you see that the term Freitagswechsel is because the holiday home rental offers to arrive and go out on Friday. is a term that is the best term for telling the terms of the document apart. So Freitagswechsel is a term that is only indexed with 1,940 documents with Google. So in that sense, it's very good to make it differ from other documents and tell it apart. So then I went in and had done that for Joomla SEO. What is interesting here is that the term SEO is very, very good in the TF-IDF scores, because SEO only has 3,890 documents in the Google index. Now, a novice would go in and say, okay, when I want to rank for Joomla SEO, I have to put the term SEO in there. No, that's not the case. That's why I showed you the calculations. SEO is the one single term that is best for differentiating documents with the term Joomla SEO, because it is a term that only is occurring in 3,890 documents. So let's go into onpage.org and let's have a look how you do that correctly in terms of proof keywords. So, let's see that. Just need to refresh it so that we see the graph correctly. Is that good? No, it's not good for you.
It's better.
So what OnPage is doing is, in the essence, they go at it and they analyze the top 20 documents. Then they take out all the text of the documents and put it into one document corpus. And then they tell you that the term SEO has been in 2 of the documents ranking in the top 20 positions, that the total term frequency is 18. They calculate the TF-IDF and tell you what the value is. So this document then, or this term then, is here at the graph, the highest and best position, because, as I told you, it's valid for telling the documents ranking for Joomla SEO apart. What you need to know in terms of optimizing your documents, and Pete, there we are coming into what makes sense, is that there are proof keywords, so-called proof keywords. Proof keywords are keywords that prove the thematical focus of the document. So for Joomla SEO, let me apply the proof keyword filter. That is a very good value. So for Joomla SEO, you should have in there SEO, Joomla, SEF, plugin, and what is that? Keywords? Is that keywords? That is keywords. Yeah, if you apply a proof keyword filter of about, I don't know, apply a little less, then we see we have jQuery in there, front-end self URLs, Metadaten on page, Suchmaschinenoptimierung. Okay, apparently I scraped the German values. And the concept of proof keywords is that they occur in a lot of the 20 documents that you have scraped. So if you want to optimize your document, then you need to ensure that you have your proof keywords in that document. And for finding the proof keywords, onpage.org is a very, very good tool. They also can scrape data for the English market. We could do that here. Does anyone have a website he wants optimized?
Nobody dares.
Nobody dares? Pete, do you want?
Go ahead with mine.
What?
Go ahead with mine. That's fine.
For what keyword?
Webentwicklung.
Okay. It's HTTPS, correct?
Yeah.
www?
Yeah.
DJ Inwa.
So, what I did right now, of course, I told Google scrape the top positions in Google for Webentwicklung, web development. And then I applied another filter that analyzed David's website. Let's quickly open that so that anyone can see that. So this is the Joomla website of David.
Oh, who was that? I know this guy.
I don't know.
Surprise, surprise.
Now let's go back in there. And let me see when we apply proof keyword filter. Oh, I see. Apparently, in the document scraped right that time, it would probably be worthwhile to add typo 3 and Magento.
You know, this is why I didn't like SEO. It just doesn't make sense.
You can always say, I don't do typo 3 and
Yeah.
Magento.
Yeah, of course you could do that, but the question is what will that do with your texting? And then again, right now we were looking for a one-word term, Webentwicklung. If we do that for Webentwicklung Joomla, then the results would most likely look a lot of more different than these. But if you want to rank top positions, I don't know, where would you be situated with Webentwicklung right now?
I think all Germany 9.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Well, this is a low proof keyword filter. If we apply the filter a little higher, we see that Webentwicklung in CMS is something where you are good. You could use that a little more in your documents to send a one unique signal. So just improve the frequency of the word in the document. But and again, one would have to ask how holistical that is, and we are only having a look at a document level. I mean, the document isn't the only document we're analyzing. Then there is user behavior, then there is links that influence that, the ranking of the documents. Right now we are only having a look at the document level. For Germany, there is a tool from my dear colleague Thomas Mintnich. He's the man with the black hat, from termlabs.io. Thomas has a completely self-crawled index for the German web, which is a lot to crawl and to take in, so they are doing the indexation themselves. And Thomas' tool is very, very good in doing analyses for German websites, mostly because the tool can analyze the main content. A lot of misconceptions about how you could rank good in Google are also done by people that I've been doing that, by the way, too, that say, okay, put in the SEO, my company name is 1A SEO, usually written together, so right here I said 1A space SEO to improve the term frequency for the word SEO in the article. But Google is very, very good in telling the main content apart. For Google, this part here, scrolling down, would be the main content to analyze the document. A lot of shops are investing a lot of money in doing so-called SEO texts. There is a website that is called Anwalt.de. It is a lawyer's website, and what they do is they display the lawyers of a certain city department or of a certain city, and on the right side you always see an optimized SEO text that has the lawyer location a lot in the texting. But actually this is not what Google finds to be the main content. The main content is the list of lawyers under the URL, city and type of lawyer. that's what I don't know what they invested in content or in this so-called SEO text content. It will probably be a lot of money, while it was completely needless to spend that money. Yeah? So, if you are optimizing for categories or for categorizing lawyers at a certain location, then you need the good category list and not the SEO text. Thomas' tool is very, very good and very, very scientific. You see that this looks a lot more different than it would be looking with the onpage.org. And you see that in the tool you can analyze the main content or important tags, for example the H1 tags or the tags in the image alt tags, to see what are people doing to get to top positions and to really have a quick overview on what to do better in that sense. The ones of you that would like to know more can also have a look at the information retrieval book here. Now I have about 12 more minutes. My preparation time for the talk was about 5 hours, and you know why. So if anyone has questions, we could go ahead and analyze pages.
Is it on page good for Russian websites?
I
Or
don't
do you recommend
know.
other service?
For Russian websites, I really don't know, and I don't know if they are able to do the Unicode encoding, but we could have a look. I mean, I can't do the Cyrillian keyboard, to really enter that right now. But I know that OnPage is able to scrape at a different location. So we have Germany, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, now is the sea, Kazakhstan.
Russia.
There's
That is
also
Russia.
Russia.
Russia is there. Right, great.
I haven't used OnPage for a long time. I actually just booked an account here because I use Thomas's tool from a scientific point of perspective.
Thomas is tool only for German, right?
Right now, yes. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
But you see that the menu items are in English, so you know what he is going to do next, expand. I know that Thomas's tool is used by a lot of newspapers and a lot of SEO agencies because it has a simple API that is JSON based. So you could fetch the data right into your management system and tell the people creating the texts what terms to use more and what terms to use less. Yep.
And how much does it cost for
OnPage or Thomas's Term Labs?
Thomas?
The tool is in a closed beta right now. If you want to apply for an account, tell Thomas that you came from the presentation with Christopher and that you would like to have an account, and then Thomas will provide you with an account. Thomas is testing a lot of user cases right now. The heavy users, the agencies, the news websites and things like that. And of course also the smaller customers to find out how much the system will cost under load and who will have to pay what amounts of money. Because right now he doesn't know that, he just wants to provide a good result and a stable system when going live.
Do you think in Joomla we don't need now to put meta text for keywords, description?
No. The meta keywords tag has never been used by Google. The way that they have been doing information retrieval has always been the way that I've been telling you, and the meta keywords have never been used by Google. It's if 5 websites have the same meta keywords, how do you tell them apart?
Okay.
If they have the same meta keywords, all things being equal, how do you tell them
Means
apart?
that not necessary to put them at all.
No. My recommendation is always take the meta keywords out. You of course need the title tag, you need the meta description, a meta description that is very interesting for your results so that you get clicks.
For reposting social networks, description appears usually.
Yeah, but in social networks you would use the Open Graph protocol in that sense. Yeah.
Does Google uses the bounce rate in Google Analytics for ranking websites? I mean, if you have a bounce rate on page for 100%,
How can you have 400% bounce rate?
100%.
100%.
So they might.
The question is, you know, the bounce can only be measured or the bounce rate that you see that is measured in Google Analytics always has the following click path. You come in, then you go to a second page, and then you probably bounce, because the one click from coming in to the next click to the next site makes you able to measure the time that the people have been on the page. When you go into the concept of search session, that means you go in, you search for something. Then you find a result and you click on that result. Google knows, I think 2012 they have been granted a patent which was about read detection. So they are, with a machine learning algorithm, they are able to measure the time that a user would need to extract the relevant information for the search query in the document that is presented. So if that time is, or if the user gets to the site and is on the site a little longer than that, isn't bouncing back to the SERPs right away, then this is most likely a good signal. If the user bounces back to the SERPs because he or she found the information and refines the search query, then because what the user read, user got the impression, okay, I need to refine my search query, then this will not harm this document. So that in that sense there are good bounces and bad bounces, and you have to see the bounces in the relation to the search session.
Thank you.
Additional questions?
Just comment, it's very worthy information again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you,
Yep.
do you have experience with over optimization with sort of too perfect?
Well, mostly these documents don't rank. When you go at an optimization right now with a document, let's do that right here because I can easily explain that to you. Then Google is asking the document a couple of questions. A, do you have holistic content? So content that is a very broad and informative perspective. Can you prove your thematical focus? That means, are there proof keywords used in there? And are you spam? And the spam signal, let me add the URL for comparison. Apparently that didn't work. So, as if with the important keywords for the optimization, for example, Suchmaschinenoptimierung, that's search engine optimization, SEO apparently, and Köln for Cologne, if you send a strong term signal, then you are above the values of all the other documents that is displayed here. When you get problems is when back here you are well above the corpus of the documents that are analyzed, because usually this is a spam signal, or it is an indication that you weren't too good opting for SEO Cologne. So the thematical focus is moved here. But right now I'll go in and check what I can do, build a couple of new good links. I disavowed the other links, and then I will probably also write about the assholes having bought 300 links with, no, I'm not saying where you can buy that.
How do you know that? Did they tell you?
No, I saw it, and we had a certain sort of professional disagreement, I would call it.
They tried to prove it.
And they try to prove it, yes. which is an asshole's gesture, but that's the way it is. Any more questions? Good, then we are done. You have a question?
One more question.
Yes.
I'm not too knowledgeable in that area, but I was just wondering, I mean, Google also personalizes search results.
Yes.
Right? Can you take that into account?
No, you can't. With all the tools, you can't. They store that in a cookie or in their session storage when you are logged in. That's something that you just can't measure from outside. Good. Thank you very much.